Now, we told you this week the Learning Post, just one of the educational supply stores, has not seen the big rush of teachers and parents coming in to buy school supplies because everybody's waiting, but that could change as return to learn plans take shape this week. The National Retail Federation saying on average a family with school-age kids could spend some $790 this year. That's a new record because laptops, computer accessories, tech, financial professional, president of Vivid Tax Advisory Services, our friend Cameron McCarty is in with some things to keep in mind here because we all know we're one bad decision at sometimes over leveraging ourselves from being in a bad spot to recover from. What would you like people to keep in mind as they may have to kind of bear the burden of buying school supplies?
Well, I mean, you made a good point. I mean, school's going to look a lot different this year than it has in the past. And so if you look at back to school spending, especially including college students, it's going to teeter off of $100 billion this year, which is setting a whole new record. And you mentioned it. Where's most of that money going into? It used to be, well, it still is, the shoes and the clothing and that sort of thing, which, by the way, there's no tax on August 7th and 8th for purchases under $100 there, little tip. But most of it is going to be coming from electronics. So you mentioned it, laptops, iPads. I mean, there's going to be a lot of remote learning happening. And so it's important that we stick to a budget just like we would any other year, Elias.
Can you, is there any tax benefit? Can you write off any of this stuff, by the way? If you're the one buying for educational purposes, is there some advice you could give people on that for parents?
Well, no. I mean, the big thing is just looking for deals and discounts. I mean, like, for example, for colleges, if you go to their campus store, that, brick and mortar shops, which is really moving towards online sales just because of this pandemic. It's just more of finding those sales because, I mean, even if you take a look at the tax return, I mean, they doubled the standard deduction. So, I mean, no, I mean, there's really no benefit there because, again, it's just we can't itemize.
Okay, good tip, just as people are thinking ahead. So budget for, $500 to $1,000 for some people, depending on what you're going to buy junior this year. Something that may help, and they're talking a lot about it in Washington, we do expect direct payments, another round of stimulus money into our bank accounts. A lot of folks say, yay, it almost feels like free money. This is a line item, budget item, though, with the federal budget. What do you like people to keep in mind as they get that money, when they finally agree to it? What's going to happen a year or two down the road, do you think?
Okay, so right now this is going to be classified as a credit, and so it will be taxed at some point. So that's the balloon, Elias. I mean, yes, it gives me comfort knowing that it helps stabilize the market, especially with people that are invested. But ultimately, take a look at the future here. Taxes are going to rise most likely. So for a tip, I would talk to your tax professional and find out when are taxes on sale for you. Look at Roth conversions, things like that, because again, I mean, when you're pushing $4 trillion to $5 trillion, when this whole thing is all said and done, it's going to come from somewhere. So taxes are most likely going to go up. So be proactive and decide when you want to pay taxes instead of waiting for the government to tell you when you will be paying taxes.
Very good. And if you have no idea what Cameron just said with Roth conversions and taxes on sale, what's the best way to get a hold of you, my friend?
Yeah, so go to our website, vividtaxadvisory.com. I mean, really educate yourself out there because, again, the world is changing. We got to change with it. So take those steps.
Very good. Thanks for making the time bright and early here with us, Cameron. We look forward to talking with you again, my friend.
Thank you.
You bet.